Ding, ding, ding. Good morning. Welcome up to the live stream today. The SPY is moving very well so far here this morning. How are we doing? I love that move from yesterday. SPY is looking very solid right now with the way that it's moving. It's a great breakout past 690. I know that's a big resistance zone that we're watching. SPY closed up right around 688 yesterday, but 690 is the big one for today, and we are breaking well past it now, hitting 691. Good morning and welcome up. Manicured, Zach, Ramirez, Rick. Seems like a light crowd today. Is everybody hungover from the great speech last night? The State of the Union address was last night, which was funny. I was wondering how many of you were going to be excited for that event yesterday or not. It seemed like the Discord was popping off, though, as we got into it. What's up, KNMSO? Wes Montgomery, Eric. Let's get it. SPY bounce off 690. I'm putting, Eric says. You're putting here? Uh-oh. Let's see. Maybe 691. Your trading view is frozen. Uh-oh. Go to the, go in Google Chrome or something and look at it, Mason. The big question is this going to be a big trap or not? The SPY kind of gapped up today. It's starting to move pretty well off of this lower support zone. Are we going to be pushing up towards new highs, or are we going to break this upwards trend and truly fall off into the zone? Very curious. Kayla Santos, welcome in. Good morning, good morning. Pretty crazy day out there. Lots said last night at the State of the Union address, which I saw people kind of complaining this morning about it being too long. Of course, on a day like this. Yeah, that is weird. Maybe it's a different server for where you are, which could be the case. SPY is starting to slow up a little bit here, but overall, still a great move from open. As long as we hold 690 today, that should be a really good sign. I don't know what that even means, coconut. Pretty wild, but SPY is in the middle of a major chop zone at the moment. Just sitting there menacingly. Gold actually gapped up a little bit into today, which is nice. Silver gapped up very nicely, 3.5%. If we look at the daily on these, they've been starting to recover a bit. Silver's actually testing pretty key resistance here today. GLD's up a little bit too. Nothing crazy though. I see what you're saying, Mason, how the dailies are frozen. Let's, what is going on here? You're right, the 5-minute was working fine, but even the 1 minute, but the daily is frozen. One minute works. Hourly works. Very strange. That's pretty strange today with TradingView. They need to figure it out. That's for sure. The aircraft carrier USS Ford has overflowing toilets. Oh, now I get what you mean, Coconut. I actually read about that yesterday. That's hilarious that you brought that up. I read about that. Apparently there was like what was it? Did they say like 30-minute queues or 15-minute queues or something like that to use the bathroom? Very weird. But yeah, I did hear that there was plumbing issues on the aircraft carrier, which could be halting an attack. That's hilarious, Coconut. I like it. That's funny you brought that up. I did not think I'd hear about that today. Fidelity is too. Let's go check on our Mag 7 setup here. Tesla is up 2.18%, hit 420 today, everyone's favorite number. Microsoft, Google, Meta, Amazon. Very mixed between those. Meta's up a little bit. Nvidia is starting to break down after touching 195 today. Kenmo bought their first option. 7 strike on ACHR. It ends Friday. Oh. 7 strike. What? Hopefully it keeps going up and I can double up. Oh no. It seems like it started to fall down a bit here today with ACHR. It also, if we look over the past like 5 or so trading days, there's a big resistance that ACHR is back below here now. I don't know, that definitely worries me into today, if I'm being honest with you. On the daily, oh, that's not the best setup either on the daily. It's close to support, but whenever you see setups like this that have played out and they're testing this low, whenever they get this far along, you start to get worried about like a major pullback here. Eric says, what happens if Nvidia misses earnings? Then it's game on. We're going to see some insane price action probably. If Nvidia misses earnings, we need to be very mindful that it could be testing the bottom end of this range pretty quickly. And if it breaks the bottom end of this range, it's going to be, well, very bearish is what I'm going to say. But so far, NVIDIA is holding up great today. Same with the SPY. Still holding up in a great fashion. Let's go ahead and do a poll here on NVIDIA. I'm gonna do a poll. Now this is a funny poll. All right. Now this is kind of a funny one here, because there's 4 options for this NVIDIA earnings report. Here's the earnings calendar for everybody. If we look at the poll, which I just posted, you're going to see 4 options. Will NVIDIA beat earnings and go green tonight? You can vote for beat, go green, beat, go red, miss, go green, or miss, go red. I'm very curious what you guys think, because they could technically beat earnings expectations, but then still drop. It's still possible. So I'm really curious what you guys think. Beat Go Red is winning the poll so far on 10 votes. Hopefully there weren't any huge miss votes here. So you think that they're gonna beat earnings, but the stock's gonna go down? That's interesting. Not one vote for miss Go Red? Nobody thinks that they're going to miss on earnings? They might not. If we think about it, there has been a lot going on with AI spending, right? And even Meta, recently they announced something with NVIDIA. Now they did a deal with AMD. There's lots of people that have committed to NVIDIA. They're still committing to building out these data centers and all of that good stuff, which is still great. That's a great outlook for NVIDIA. Now, if we saw all of these earnings and everybody was cutting back on spending and they were slowing up and maybe just sitting on what they have, sitting on their hands, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, I think that would have been a worse outlook for NVIDIA here. But I've seen a lot of positivity into this NVIDIA report given everything going on. Yeah, beating earnings will be nothing new for investors with NVIDIA. No kidding. They do seem to normally do pretty well. Even if they don't beat earnings, we have to keep in mind that there could still be something with like a good outlook for the future. And even if they don't beat the expectation, they could still have earnings growth, and they could also still have like a crazy number. Like, let's say their revenue's up 50% year over year or something crazy. But vote up in the poll. 27 votes so far on NVIDIA's earnings tonight. 27 votes. Let's get a lot going on this one. And while you're at it, destroy the like. There's a good pump here. 195. We'll see if it can get back there once again. It's starting to slow up a little bit, but been very choppy so far today, but holding up well. Going to be a weird day into earnings for them. NVIDIA is playing footsies with 195. DE, sure, Eric. I haven't heard anybody ask about John Deere in a long time. I don't even know if ever. But yeah, DE had a nice pump recently, as did a lot of these value stocks, or I don't even know what you would classify Deere and Company as, or John Deere. I put it kind of in the category, though, with Caterpillar. And if we look at Caterpillar right now, it's doing pretty good. 772 up to almost 800. It's still ripping. I mean, it's slowed up a little bit, but it's still moving up. Well, if we look at DE, it had this big gap up recently. You know, will that gap fill? It's possible that it doesn't. But it's getting to the point of being very overextended in my eyes. Now, these types of stocks, they can really trend for a long time and, you know, can continue a broader uptrend for quite a while, as we've seen in the past. Here's Deere from 2017, 2018. We go forward again. It's had these periods of ripping for like 1.5 years straight before. So don't be too surprised if it does continue ripping. It's a stock that really likes to trend, but I think it's getting a bit overextended. I'm not personally a buyer up here. I think it's more of a nothing burger for me. If you wanted to follow the trend, though, it's not too bad. QQQ, no low. 614.85. Damn, QQQ is coming alive today. Up 1%. Moving up with the SPY. And lots of tech stocks this morning. SPY's ripping too, actually up into resistance. It's 691.80, 691.75. This was a big zone from the past few weeks. If we look at it on an hourly, you can see all of the points where SPY had touched this zone and moved or reacted in a crazy way. It's good to see it trending up, though. It seems like President Trump has instilled a little bit of confidence out there with that speech last night. SPY's been reacting very well so far. I mean, even last night with futures, if we look at E-mini S&P futures yesterday, go to a 5-minute chart. Where are we? Yeah, like, I guess like while the speech was going on, it was going well, but it did take a bit of a tumble there at the end. Towards the middle, like, slash end of the speech, but it ran up well into the event. And then this morning, you know, continued up really well, broke out. Overall, a pretty good move. You know, we'll call it a pretty good move. I thought it was hilarious that Nancy Pelosi was mentioned last night. That was pretty hilarious. Did he ever say the word alien? I didn't even see that. I can't remember. But there were a lot of bets on the Poly market and Kalshi on prediction markets yesterday for what Trump would say, and people there and all types of stuff. Oh, you said illegal alien a couple times. So did that count? I guess that counts. Aw, man. I was hoping that he said something about the actual aliens. I didn't catch the entire thing, I had my daughter with me, of course, and missed a few things, but it was an interesting one for sure. It's always interesting when Trump has those big events. He really likes them, I think. Palantir moving up 132. 2% on the day. Very nice. Coming up off of the dip. Love to see that. Tessie is explosive, or was explosive today. It pulled back a little bit, but I think there could actually be a good buy the dip opportunity here with Tesla on an intraday level. Eric. It's funny how she's known for that. Yeah, I don't know if it paid out either, Pancakes. I didn't check the rules on it. But I would think that it counts. I would think that they would have had to have been specific about it. Wow, though, SPY is on fire. It's interesting to see it ripping so well. Still moving up to 692 here. It's getting up into a big area of resistance, though, I'll say that. For Save Act, he said Save American Act, and it didn't count. Ooh, because it's 2 words, and it had to be said back to back. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, some of those rules could be critical there. Could start to make people angry. I guess that's the risk if you're getting into it. What's up, Dylan? Good morning, good morning. Wow, that's a crazy stat, Mason. People are losing 3x faster on those betting markets than they are on sports books. Dang. Hopefully there's some good legislation against them, and then DraftKings will go up. DraftKings all the way down to $22 now. This is getting pretty crazy at this point. How's Fluttered? These guys run FanDuel. Oh, wow. They are getting crushed as well. Not surprising, but it just seems overly straight down with Flutter. It's 7x faster. Mason just posted it up in off-topic channel. Oh my gosh. Bettors lose 7 times faster on Kalshi versus Sportsbooks. Wow, that's crazy. I don't know where they got those statistics at. They might be fudging the numbers a little bit, but either way, it's interesting. Man, Palantir, I'll tell you, this lower support zone is starting to look enticing, especially today with the way that it's moving. The intraday price action's been great, back to the upside. A lot of good upside movement, though. The bot hit on Netflix a little while ago. That thing went crazy. Pretty good initial pop. Eric said Kalshi's the devil. I wonder if something's gonna happen though, like some serious like legislation against Kalshi and Poly market. I would assume that something comes up here in the next couple years. Something's got to give. I know that they're angry with Kalshi and Poly market, I believe, because of paying taxes. I think that's something that people are, especially the states, are very angry about. Yeah, I'm not sure who it was sponsored by, but it was posted by Only Gambling Clips on Instagram or something, so definitely definitely a weird one. Rivian CEO says he has never been as bullish despite the stocks. 92% plunge. Rivian CEO. Well, I'll tell you what, Rivian has done pretty good on its trend here lately, and it did dip pretty close to this trend. If it starts to bounce again back up, this could be a good bullish spot for it. If we look at Rivian, it is really plunged. From the time they came on the market to where they are now, they got crushed. I do think that they could start to perform better as the years go forward, but it's going to take a little while in my eyes. I'm not necessarily bought into the CEO's hype yet, but very interesting movement on the chart either way. And something that it just did is that it dropped down and it filled a weird gap that it had. It filled this big gap and now is bouncing back, which it really looks solid here for a short-term opportunity, maybe a swing. Runaway, man. I started the market last April, and I've been dancing around big wins. Lost out 28K back in October. I pulled out faster than my first time. I was blown away That told me everything, Eric said. It'll move the whole market as it does. Nvidia will, that's for sure. 41 votes. Get those votes in. Has the daily charts been fixed on TradingView finally? Nope. Still behind. But Nvidia is ripping well. 1% intraday up into earnings. What do we think they're going to do? Will Nvidia beat earnings and go green tonight? Somehow beat and go red is winning the vote. I don't know how that's winning, but I'm surprised, but it seems like people are catching on to the weirdness with earnings, that's for sure. $196 breakout coming through. Beautiful with Nvidia today. We can see Nvidia's been stuck on this big zone of resistance, and it really pushed through this morning and today. This is a good sign into the report tonight. Hopefully the report goes well. I would be a big fan of the report going well and Nvidia popping. I'm not necessarily looking for it to drop or anything like that. I'm not playing it, but it's definitely going to impact just about everybody's portfolio, so be ready. Today feels like a bull trap, Kayla says. I'm a bit worried about that. Not overly worried since it's Nvidia reporting tonight, but you never know how earnings are going to go, and there could definitely be a good trap. Yeah, Mike called FedEx beautiful. Coinbase, Alex says. COIN, 6.55%. Rejection to the downside has happened here a lot with Coinbase. Be careful. It's up 6.55%, but rejection has come through at this point quite often. Could be breaking out, though. This is the third test recently of this zone, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of a break myself. You're calling SanDisk last week played out well. SNDK. They've been a bit weak in the short term. Yesterday, they were exceptionally weak, and today, with the market moving, they're not really up that much, if I'm being honest. I got to be careful what charts I'm looking at, though, because TradingView is all messed up today. Sorry about that, by the way, guys. I don't know what's up with TradingView, but it seems like it's happening for just about everyone. It's trolling us. Yeah, could be. Mason says he'll streak NYSE. What does that mean? If it puts us over 700? Like, go to New York? And streak? Gosh, SPY's looking pretty good. If it puts us over 700, that would be a pretty good one. Ooh, I see why you picked that one, Mason. That's going to be a fun one, though. It could do it. It could do it. Oh, my God. Is there really a bet? Imagine if there was something like that, Mason. I would just put $1 million on it and then go running. Obviously, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do it, but. Gosh, could you imagine that? That's crazy, Mason. Yeah, Super Bowl stuff. I'm surprised more people don't try to take advantage of stuff like that. I don't know if it's illegal or not. I'd have to really look into that, but it seems like these prediction markets can seriously be pretty lucrative. I feel like people in Congress could really do that. I don't know if it would count as insider trading or not. Definitely they're using insider knowledge, but I wouldn't know if... I don't know how that really goes. They're probably not required to report or on that or anything, so... They should be, though. It would be really cool if they were required to report and then we got to start seeing what was going on. I'm sure that we'll hear something about that going on here. Next couple years, like I said, there's gonna be a lot going on. Mason said betting has ruined the world, to be honest. Yeah, it kind of it's weird. It kind of has. I was all for it. Now I don't know that I love it as much. Tessie's pulling back hard. Palantir's still holding up pretty well. SPY pulling back as well with Tessie. We look at the Mag 7, a lot of intraday pullbacks started occurring here, so I'm not surprised to see SPY pulling back a bit. Just about everything turned over at the same time. But yeah, this could be an interesting day. Don't forget to vote up in the poll. Beat and Go Red is winning with 48 total votes. Let's get as many votes as we can today. If you haven't voted, make this the day that you vote. If you've never voted. The put said I'd 100% say things during speeches. I'm sure Trump got a few phone calls last night. Hey, man, I need you to really say this tonight. Stuff's getting silly. 60x. Man, that pullback on Tesla is pretty rough, considering the good move this morning that occurred. Let's throw up the watch list. Start looking at just what's moving the most. Navitas up 17%. NVTS, good movement from earnings. Look at that bounce on the trend line on the daily chart there. Wow, that is a good hold by Navitas. Running right into resistance at $10 per share, pretty much. Gonna be interesting to see if it can start to break that the next couple days. SPY pulling back. All right. SPY hit 692 and pulled back a little bit. Let's see if we can start to really get a better rip coming through. Doesn't seem like it with the way that it's moving at the moment. Seems more like a larger rejection here. I wouldn't be surprised if it tried to pop up a little bit, but I'm not necessarily looking for the high of day to break at this point. It seems like a pretty good move overall from the low of day yesterday. If we go from the low yesterday to the high today, SPY was up 1.7%. That's a pretty good pop for SPY. Pretty good pop. Don't be surprised if it tries to test support. I would love for the uptrend to continue. I don't love that pullback here. Nvidia is pulling over a little bit too. Might be slowing up a little into earnings. SPY seems to be in a lower zone. Now it's not reaching $693. No more for me to short it. Yeah, it's like right in the middle of its range from the day today. From where it opened and to where it is now, it's right in the middle. It's not my favorite. I feel your concern there. I feel like there could still be some room down, but I feel you. Go check Tessie. Bouncing back a little bit. 414. Is there going to be a good buy the dip opportunity today? That's what I'm really looking at right now. Mike said Netflix approaching the high of the day. Oh my gosh, Netflix is going wild here again. Great recovery for them. 3.95% now on the day. They're touching the high of day. I think they technically broke it by a little bit here. Yeah, they did. Pretty good move by Netflix, though, overall. Big pullback with Tessie, 415. Still testing here. Nvidia into earnings, pulling back too. Don't forget to vote in that poll. 56 votes now, but we want to get as many votes as possible, because this is where we could see a big shift come into play. Huge pullback there with Nvidia, though. That is major down to 195. Palantir, 133.50 resistance holding. Netflix. Oh my gosh, I thought we were going to turn back to see Netflix finally pushing through that high of the day, but not happening quite yet. Pulling back very slightly now. Google's had a very weird move today. Kind of like a heartbeat monitor type action here. Let's check Boeing. How about Lockheed Martin? Ooh, LMT's down quite a bit today. Let's look at the daily. They're probably overextended and dropping. Yep. Starting to play out. Go back to the SPY. Sorry about that. Take care of something really fast. But yeah, SPY pulling back towards 690. Now, the big question is this uptrend that we're starting to see take hold going to be a true push to highs, or is this a trap with NVIDIA's earnings tonight? That's the million-dollar question for today. Those earnings are going to probably dictate where we go tomorrow. It could easily turn this slight uptrend into a downtrend. Very easily. If we look, the market's been very stuck. There's been a trend of lower highs, and at the same time, there's also been higher lows. I suppose we should just draw it out. There's kind of our upper line. Here's kind of our downside line. SPY is in a big wedge. Lalu said HIMS, H-I-M-S. They had earnings earlier this week. They dropped, but they're recovering now. Okay. They're well above where they were before earnings, so that's good. But they definitely dropped off first. HIMS has been getting smacked, if you guys didn't know. Let's check the daily. It's really been getting smacked, and it actually bounced off of a really big zone of support. HIMS had a good low in September of 24, and it's actually testing that same low in support right now. This is a big area for HIMS. The last time HIMS got to support, though, it flushed right under it, but that is extremely interesting, though. NVO got crushed again. They've been getting crushed here this week, down in a bad fashion. Seems like LLY is taking the W on the obesity drugs, at least right now. They said it looks even more wedgy on the daily. Yeah, the daily just doesn't show a lot of those pre-market moves or after-hours moves, and I feel like for the bottom end of the wedge, a lot of those came there at pre-market or something. I have a lot of drawings on here, though, so... But you can see the big range recently. We have the big upper range where the all-time high is. We have the midpoint of the range, and we have the lower side of the range. At least SPY's in the upper side now again. You're done for the day. Too scared to play anything. Good luck, everyone, and thanks, Tom. Thanks, Kayla. Thanks for joining up. Have a great rest of your day and great rest of the week if I don't see you tomorrow. But guys, tonight is the live Q&A. Let's go. Live Q&A tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. I talk about this all the time. Huge event. You guys should join up. If you're in the trading floor, you better be there at 9 tonight. We'll be posting up links in the chat. It's in the Discord in the live Q&A channel. You have to be a trading floor member, though. If you're not a trading floor member, check out the link I'm sending. There's a lot of big updates coming this year to the trading floor, but a lot of opportunities with the bots lately with all the volatility hitting, and of course, lots of opportunities on furthering yourself as a trader, maybe getting better strategies, learning new strategies, implementing better mindsets, things like that. Check it out. Join in tonight. Live Q&A. Big earnings, though, tonight, too. NVIDIA. Don't forget, vote up in the poll. 66 votes. I like it. Keep those votes coming. Very close. Beat Go Green and Beat Go Red are like right where it's at. The cost of it's more per month than your portfolio. Oh, no. To get access, Vintage, you'll have to sign up on that link that I put in the chat 3 messages up. And it's in our Discord server. If you've never seen it, here's the, without trying to give things away too bad. Here's the Discord server. You'll get access to the trading floor, which has a lot going on. There is a monthly cost. The yearly saves a ton, though. Nvidia bouncing. I like that double bottom here. I'm not necessarily set on a huge rebound to new highs of the day, though. Quite yet. If we do see momentum pick up, it might not be bad. I like the way Tesla is starting to bottom out here, too. This could be a little buy the dip opportunity. Not that it's going to get back to highs of the day, but quicker plays. The school of hard knocks is not fun. SPY pushing. Wow, it formed a little base too. Kind of like Tesla and the others, and is moving up. SPY looking pretty good here as it tries to come back alive. Let's see how high it really gets. Come on, let's see that high of day. That would be pretty cool. A lot of resistance before we get there, though. Vote in the poll. 68. Beat Go Green is now winning. They're tied at 44%, though. They're tied. I can't believe that many people voted for Beats, and then Go Green, Go Red was really the dictator there. Seems like traders are waking up to how earnings are, how weird they are, and how crazy the price action can be. Going back to the watch list here. Navitas had that great run earlier, slowing up though. No fun. Bitmine, BMNR, up around 9.5% today. Now this one's a big mover, but it is actively moving here intraday. It's a big runner. Its average percent gain is 14% since it hit the market, or over the past year anyways. Bitcoin's having a pretty good recovery bounce today. That's nice to see instead of a big drop sell-off, which was starting to worry investors, I think. I think those daily charts are still messed up a little bit, but alrighty, guys. Well, I think we're going to have to go ahead and call it there today. I appreciate everybody joining up. Sorry for ending it a bit early. We're just very busy today. Got a lot going on in the background here. Great morning, though, I'll say. I've loved the price action so far today with You know, the initial run from open and with the way the market's starting to push back up, looks pretty solid, especially with NVIDIA reporting tonight. But thanks for voting in the poll. We're going to end it there with a tie. 44%. Beat go green and beat go red. Traders could not make up their minds. There's a lot of differentiating thoughts with this event tonight. The NVIDIA earnings. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and call it there. Appreciate everybody for joining up today, though. Thank you, Vintage. I know, right, Vintage? Got a lot hitting here today, though. Make sure to check out the Discord, though. If you're not yet in there, join in. Spark up some conversation. Let's go. Could be some fun opportunities in there, of course. If you're not in the Discord yet, it's free. It's free. Check out the link in the description. But other than that, see you guys. Let's have a great rest of the week. Today's Wednesday, live Q&A night. Don't forget that. Here's a link if you're not yet in the trading floor and you want to join up. But let's have a great morning. See you guys.